back. Happy Valley. All right, everyone. Let's all get our hymn books tonight. We're going to stand and sing out of the Red Back book and bring back 329, Standing on the Promises. 329, Standing on the Promises. Amen. 120. Amen. Victory. 120.
Oh
Go ahead and be seated, and before Brother Dylan comes, I want to announce about tonight. Our Bible class again meets at 6:30, and so we have 8 classes left. 8 classes left, so please come. We sort of slack last Monday night, but anyway, tomorrow night's another night. Another opportunity to come and get some Bible learning. Amen. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it. So please come, you that are involved with that.
Amen.
Well, that was the only announcement I had, so this will be just going to jump in these real quick. Obviously, by now you know the money. Does anybody still owe money, Jesse?
Yes.
All right, you know who you are if you still owe money. So get Jesse the money today before we leave. New Manor Baptist Church. Amen. All right, so children's church and services next Sunday will be canceled due to the workers and children that are going to be at New Manor. Let's go ahead and plant the seed for this one. The youth choir is going to be singing a good bit in the next couple of weeks, so let's get excited about that. April the 16th at East Hiram at 7. Bus is leaving here at 6. And then the 23rd of April will be at Hickory Grove at 7. Bus is leaving here at 6 Eastern Standard. And then, of course, April the 30th, the 29th and 30th, Brother Ed's going to be preaching with CT, so we'll try to go be supportive of that. Amen.
Still having Sunday. Yes. Amen.
Good to see everybody in church tonight. Y'all glad you're saved. Say amen. A couple of things, and then I want to draw your attention to something in your bulletin. I hope everybody has a bulletin. I hope you do. You want to make sure every Sunday that you get a bulletin, and then you won't steal mine out of the pulpit. I had to hide it this morning. It's always gone when I come back Sunday night, so I hid it today. Is it Brother Todd steals my bulletin? No. Not my son-in-law, amen. By the way, I sure do appreciate him. That was fine. Again, I played. We don't know what we got, amen. And I can invite y'all to travel with me some and listen to some of the stuff I have to preach behind, and it makes me glad to come home, buddy. But anyway, if you've got a bulletin, I want you looking at it. I'll show you something in just a second. But a couple of things right quick. Let's see, I'm not going to rehearse anything from this morning, but I got a phone call this afternoon. Actually, we were getting in the truck, me and Sister Angie and Miss Caroline. We were coming to church, and my phone rang, and I recognized the number. It was Brother Randy Pike. He calls me on this day every year without fail. And without fail, every year I answer the phone and he's weeping. And he said, Brother Eddie, just wanted you to know, 14 years ago today, you rescued my little wife from the motel room when she had her aneurysm. And he said, we're just praising the Lord for his goodness and his mercy. And I thought, I hope when I'm laid flat up like he is, I've still got the glory that he's got. I tell him every year, Brother Randy, we didn't do anything. We were just there. And but you tell it means the world to him. Amen. Love that old man of God. Look down at, let's see, I think it says April. On your bulletin, you've got a big long list right there. Now kids, I want you to pay attention. On all our young people, look up here at me. I know people who travel and sing who wish their April looked like that. The Lord's using you, and that's an honor. And it's a privilege. You get to go sing for the Lord. And to be an encouragement. Every time I see Brother Ricky Bice, that's Brother Stacy's uncle, every time I see him, he says something about our young people and what an encouragement to him you are. So I hope when you go and you get on the bus and you go, you're not just like, oh, we're just going to sing again. How would you feel about that if I treated preaching that way? I'm just going to preach again, you know. Man, I didn't preach like that this morning. I preached like my rear end was on fire. Amen. I preached like this the last time I'm ever going to get to. And these appointments right here might be the last time you ever get to sing. I don't know. Right now, in a few minutes, might be the last time you ever get to sing. So we're going to give God everything we've got every time we get to. Amen? Amen. What a blessing. I just thought I'd point that out. That's 5 appointments in 1 month right there. That's pretty good stuff. Amen. So I praise the Lord for how He's using our young people. So let's let Him use us. Amen. So let's have the ushers right quick. We'll receive this evening's offering, and we'll get our change offering, and we'll have the youth choir come up. And we might do something a little bit different. I want you to be thinking about something, especially Brother Todd. Let's see, I think I saw little Jeff come in. He's in uniform, but that don't matter. Some of you guys that grew up, Brother Aaron, some of you guys, Brother Dylan, some of you guys that grew up in our church, grew up in this team department, singing in this youth choir, and now you have lives and families of your own. I want you to be ready to give a testimony tonight. And give our young people something. Give our young people something that'll help them to stay put. Brother Jeff, I was thinking about it the other day. What if we had all of them lost? I'm not talking about adults. I'm just talking about teenagers over the years that got on fire for God. Man, I can remember some of them just like Sebastian. I was thinking about him today. I'm talking about shouting. I mean, I could name names. Just a slew of them standing in this youth choir and shouting and testifying. I don't even know where they are tonight. And I don't know. I thought maybe you guys might have something to offer our young people tonight, not to become one of those statistics. Amen. Is that all right? Amen. I wish I'd had a young adult when I was a teenager say, hey, don't do this. Do this, and maybe you can hang in there. So y'all be thinking about that a little bit, okay? But let's bow our heads. We'll ask the Lord to bless our offering tonight and our time together. Again, if you wasn't in here, congratulations. I don't know where Alyssa went. She was sitting right towards you. Oh, she went back. But congratulations. That's a pretty baby. Y'all look at that baby? I normally don't say that about babies. That baby's beautiful. But Annabelle Lee Nix, and she is a doll. So congratulations to them. Amen. Well, let's pray together. Father, as we come to you again this evening, Lord, Father, we thank you again for a great day. Thank you for the sweet liberty this morning to preach your word. Lord God, thank you for the folks that were here and the folks that used the altar this morning. God, I pray they got business done with you. But Lord, some left with unfinished business, and some of them are here tonight. Lord, I pray they get it taken care of tonight. Lord, touch our kids as they sing. Lord, I pray, Lord God, you just fill them with your spirit and your power. Lord, help us to do everything we do as unto the Lord. God, you just get honor and glory in this place. Bless our offering, and then again our time together. We'll thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Hey, as they go to take up the offering, don't forget, preacher's class, I believe you have an assignment tomorrow night. So don't show up and go, be ready. Be ready. I'm excited to hear what you got. Amen. So don't forget about that. Let's see. Let's have our kids come get a change on. Come on. Change for the children. tell you who won today. The Lord did. I want Blaze. Where you at? Would you stand up right there? Blaze came in my office at the end of the service this morning, looked me in the eye and said the same thing his daddy did to me years ago. He said, Brother Eddie, I got to know. I got to get this settled in my heart. And Blaze got saved in my office. Hallelujah. I can't help but think, sir, there's a crooked smile in heaven, Hallelujah. Lord, use Jay, lead me to the Lord. And the Lord let me lead his son. And now his grandson. Well, I hope that role continues. Amen. Hallelujah. All right, who won, guys?
Y'all ready?
Amen, Lord. It's about time. Hallelujah. All right, you choir, come on, let's sing a little bit tonight.
my sins are gone.
Yeah.
That's something to be excited about.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Big deal.
People will remind you every single day what things you used to do, things that you're doing. But hey, if it's under the blood, it's under the blood. It don't matter what you say about it. Hey, it's in the past. And I'm so glad that I've forgiven God, man. I forgive you no matter what you do. I never get over that.
Yeah.
Even by myself, I can't get over that. How Jesus Christ, I'll do the same sin over and over, and I feel so bad about it. Then I think about how forgiving God is. And He said, you know what? Hey, I know you make mistakes every single day, but hey, you got tomorrow. What you got to do better for me? Why don't you try to grow for me? Do better for me. Hey, that's so encouraging to know that God gives you another chance after chance. And I want to take advantage of that. I want to use that to grow in grace, to grow and get better for Jesus Christ, because He's done so much for me. Why can't I do as much as I can for Him? So I'm just thankful to God tonight to throw all gone. And God is truly so good to me.
Glory to God.
Sister Candace grew up in our church, singing in this very youth choir, traveling on the bus like you guys do. So when she was young, we went to Florida and Kentucky and New York City and Washington, D.C. I don't know, North Carolina, Tennessee, all over the place. And this is one of those that didn't wash out,
Yeah. Amen.
didn't go out into sin, didn't wreck their life. And I want to give you young ladies just a little bit of advice.
If there's one piece of advice I could give, it would be at some point in your life, you have to take the standards and convictions and rules for life that Jesse and Brother Eddie and Miss April are trying to teach you, and your mom and dad, and them to be your own. They can't always be mom and dad's rules, or mom and dad's convictions, or mom and dad's standards. There's got to come a point when you're like, you know what? I believe that.
That's right.
And that's me. And those are my rules, and my convictions, and my standards, and no matter what, I will not go back. I will not, from this time forward, do that again. God gave me conviction about it, and I'm going to stand by it. And once you make that yours, and not just theirs, you'll never be the same. You always will say, it's not just what Brother Jesse teaches, that's what I believe. And when you can make it your own, that's what makes a difference. And that's what will help you to stay in there. Because when it gets tough, you can say, no, it's not what Brother Jesse says. That's what I believe.
Amen.
It's the Bible teaches.
Amen.
And you can always go back to that point where you truly made it your own.
Boy, that's Amen.
You won't hear much better advice than that. You got my rules, you got Brother Jesse's rules, you got Mom and Daddy's rules, you got the teachers at school's rules. What are your rules? Where are your lines in the sand? There was a young man in the Bible, his name was Lot. He lived with his Uncle Abraham. One day Uncle Abraham looked at Lot and he said, look, we've acquired too much together, we're going to have to separate and go our separate ways. And Lot did good as long as he was with Uncle Abraham. But when he had to go and stand on his own 2 feet, he didn't do very well. He turned his life upside down. You see, he did good as long as he had Uncle Abraham's rules. But Lot didn't have any rules for himself. That's good advice. I'll sing another one. That's good stuff. Thank you, Miss Candace. That was awesome.
Before we sing, I'd just like to thank the Lord for being so good to me. And, thank the Lord for the price that He paid for my sins. What the beating that He took for me. All the things that He went through. And I like what He said in Isaiah 53. And just all that He's done for me and all that He went through on the cross and all the blood that He shed on the cross for me. I'm just so thankful tonight. I just want to thank the Lord for the man that God gave. That I asked to lead my dad to the Lord, and when he witnessed to him, we got saved. And 27 years ago, and the Lord changed the life of me because through the man who is my dad. And I just want to thank the Lord for the obedience that His children have, and the obedience that some of His children will take for Him. I just pray that the Lord will use us in the way that He's using those people. And I just pray He just help us with the song. I'll take you a second time.
Yeah, every time. That's good. Amen.
Come
don't know how many years ago it's been now, but Jesse, 5?
Yes, sir.
5 years ago, I guess, somewhere in the neighborhood, the Lord sent Brother Jesse in this April to our church. Little did I know that Jesse would be our youth pastor. Maybe a year or so later, his wife got saved. Then she got cancer. Then she got healed. And to say the least, Brother Jesse has been a wonderful youth pastor. I'm not just excited about what he's done and what he's doing. I'm excited about what he's going to do. He's got a heart for God, and he has a heart for our children. And I appreciate that. But some of you may not know this about Brother Jesse. Maybe you do. But Brother Jesse grew up in one of the hardest Christian homes to grow up in. Brother Jesse grew up in the home of a pastor. And there's a term out there among preachers' kids called PKs, preachers' kids. And sometimes they're the biggest brats in the church. Maybe because they're trying to get a little bit of their daddy's attention that everybody else is getting. I don't know. And sometimes it's hard to grow up in that shadow and in the background. He has to sit at home at night and listen to hear the talk, how people does his dad and treats his mother and his family. And Brother Jesse's remained faithful, growing up in a preacher's home. And some of our kids aren't growing up in pastors' homes, but you're growing up in preachers' homes. Your moms and dads, they've gotten to the place Miss Candace was talking about, where they made up their mind they're not going back. And they chose this life of Christianity. They not only chose it for themselves, but they've chose it for you. And sometimes you may not like the rules, and you may not like it when they make you go to church. One of these days, I promise you, you'll thank God you had a mom and dad that made you go to church. And so I want Brother Jesse just a bit of advice that he would have for our young people from his respect growing up in the preacher's home and just remaining faithful and still serving God. Amen. Take a few minutes with this.
Well, I want to say what I've learned in my life, growing up in church my whole life. I wasn't raised in an abusive home. I wasn't raised around alcohol. I was not raised around. I've never heard my dad cuss my mom. I've never seen a beer bottle in my home. I've never seen drugs. In and out of jail, that just wasn't talked about in my home. Amen. I was raised in church my whole life. September 30th, 1989, that's whenever I accepted Jesus into my life. At 12 years old. Amen. Most of the sins I committed was after I got saved. I was raised Baptist my whole life. There's some things in life, kids, you're going to have to figure out on your own. Yeah. It's good that you got a mom or daddy that tells you this is right, but once you get to that age, you need to get in that Bible. Yeah. And I would encourage you to start doing that now. Good advice. There's some things in your life that I was taught that I don't agree with now. I've got the best mom and dad in the world you'll listen to. And I thank God every single day for my parents. I've got the most wonderful parents ever. Yeah. But there's some things that they don't believe. There's some things that I don't believe that but you know what? We all believe the same thing. We all believe that you must be born again. Amen. We all believe that you must accept Jesus Christ in order to go to heaven. But let me tell you, you're still going to make mistakes in life. I still, after growing up and after realizing that I was lost, I was dying going to hell, I still made some decisions in my life that was not right. And I'm so thankful I serve a God that has open arms all the time. And He welcomes me back in. I'm so thankful He put a desire in my heart to want to come to Happy Valley. I'm so thankful He put a desire in my heart to want to preach to some kids that I didn't have growing up. I never had a youth pastor my whole life. This is the first time ever was a Happy Valley. How about that? First time. I've never been on a youth rally. I've never went to youth camp. I'm about to go my first one. That's with you guys. I've never got to enjoy all that. I've been in church my whole life. You don't understand and realize what we have here. And I say the old ways still work. And I say it's okay to keep singing from the church hymnal. And I say it's okay to keep reading out of the King James Bible. They're going to tell you that other churches is better. They've got more. They've got this. They've got that. But I've got Jesus. I've got Him to come. I've got Him to preach to you guys every single service. And I get more of a blessing out of you than you may get out of me. But that's okay. But I truly believe it was about 6 years ago, I was coming down here, I was refereeing basketball for Happy Valley Baptist Church. That's how I started coming here. And the boy tipped me on a watch night service 6 years ago. Me and my wife said, we're going to go to church. Now, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go to church on New Year's service. I started on the way to my old church, and I called Boy Tiffany to see if they were going to be there. They said, they were going to be at church. Little did I know they were going to be a Happy Valley Baptist Church. We turned around, we come to church that night, and we've never left since. That's God. God has a plan for your life. One of you may be the next youth pastor. One of you may be the next Brother Eddie. One of you may be the next Brother Charles, Brother Freddie. You don't know what God has planned for your life. My best advice is follow Jesus. Amen. In every direction. The devil's going to throw things your way that he's through my pathway the last 4 or 5 years. But we stay faithful. Yeah. And we trusted in God to help us along the way with our finances, with my son, with my wife. Yeah. He's never let me down. My family's let me down. My friends has let me down. God has never let me down. He's always been faithful. I'm so thankful that I trusted in Him. I'm so thankful for what He's doing in my life. Most of all, I'm so thankful for what He's doing in your life. That He can use someone like me. If He can use me, He can use each and every one of you.
Sing another. Well, that's good.
I know Him.
Hey, good advice tonight. I want to listen up.
Listen, I'm doing this for a reason. I've been burdened about our kids all week. I've never seen them stay on fire like they have quite this long. They didn't just come home from youth rally excited last year. They win. I don't know when all this started. It's been a while. I told Levi we were driving to Louisiana, and I said, "Man, please pray for our young people. The devil's really attacking them. If you think he's pleased with what the Lord's doing in their lives, you got another thing coming. He's going to throw anything and everything he can at them. Hey, I'm going to tell you something. They don't just need a good youth pastor. They need some good moms and dads. They need some good moms and dads that say, hey, what happened to you reading your Bible every day? I haven't seen you read your Bible. Hey, help them. Hold them accountable. Are y'all okay? I thought you wasn't going to listen to that music no more. I thought you wasn't going to wear that anymore. I didn't say harp on them. I said help them. Help them. Amen. I want to sit naked. I've got some of these behind me to look back here about 10 years from now and look at this next crowd coming up, these little guys right here, and say by His grace, I never went out into the world. I never turned my back on God. I got saved, I got on fire, and I stayed that way. That's the best testimony in the whole world. Not I got on drugs and got right. I never went there. I know we love Brother Jack. Brother Jack Patterson comes and tells those stories, and those stories are just heart-gripping. He sent me a video of a girl on the streets this week, and it was just precious. But it wouldn't be precious as if it was one of them. Are y'all listening? I want Brother Jack Patterson interviewing one of these little girls on the street, homeless and selling her money. I want them to be able to miss all that, man. Sing a little bit, kids. Go ahead.
Even the happiest,
Friday night. I don't know what day of the week it was, but we walked through the mall, drinking coffee, just holding hands. This little pump come shooting out from one of the little kiosk things where they sell stuff in the middle of the mall. It was Dylan. He was selling stuff, you know, he's one of them people who will accost you in the mall, pester you. We stood there and talked with Dylan for a little bit. Without saying anything, we both walked away feeling the same thing. Broken hearted. Burden for Dylan. My wife looked at me and was just about choking up, and she said, you know something? She said, I've always loved that boy. I said, me too. She said, there's something special about him. She said, we need to really pray the Lord get him back. I'm so glad the Lord did. Kids, I want you to listen. I want Brother Dylan. I know y'all listen to him all the time, but I want you to listen really good tonight, okay? You pay attention to what he says. He loves you. Amen. And he cares about you. You may think he don't understand you. Hey, but boys, y'all look down here at me just a minute. It wasn't that long ago. He was right where you were. Yeah. The devil was tempting him with the same things he's tempting you with. Messing with your head with the same things he's messing with your head. His head as he is yours. So let him give you a little advice.
Amen.
So thankful for the grace of God.
Yeah. Amen.
You know, and only thing good about me, only thing special about me is the Lord in my life. And I have so much I want to say. My heart, I don't want to go into a lot of details, but a lot of y'all know my mom and dad, and they're going through a lot of self-inflicted nonsense, and it makes you look back and reflect on things. And before I say anything, I just want to thank the Lord, Brother Eddie, you, Brother Freddie, Brother Eric, by that diner and challenged my mom to come to church. And I'm thankful for my mom's pride enough to come to prove the preacher wrong. And because of that, all of them are saved. My sister's saved, and I'm saved. And, if the Lord ever impress it on your heart to invite somebody to impresses your heart to invite somebody to church, do it. Because you know, I got saved because somebody did. Yeah. Amen. I want to encourage you, you know, I know what it's like. I do. I really do. And the Lord's given me some specific scripture that's helped me. And if I can encourage you, find some scripture that help you, I'm just going to share two, like 3 verses, but I'm going to share them with you. The first one, of course, is Psalms 40. It says, I waited patiently for the Lord, and He inclined unto me, and He heard my cry. Before I say anything else, I'm thankful that even when I wasn't patient, waiting patiently for God, He waited patiently for me. He inclined unto me, and He heard my cry, and He brought me up also out of the horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and He set my feet upon a rock and established my goings. And see, those verses, they mean the world to me, because I was out there. I was out there in the junk. I'm not bragging on the junk, brother. I'm bragging on the grace of God. Because if it were not for God's grace, hey, 1 Corinthians 6, church, it says, Paul goes into a whole list of sins, and then he says, and such were some of you, but you were lost in sin. I'm justified by God's grace right now because of His grace. You know, He didn't have to give me Dixie, all right? That was answered prayer. He didn't have to. And see, I see both sides of it. See, Dixie was raised right, lived right, served God, got saved when she was 18, grew up in a good godly home, and her parents are still 2 of the godliest people I know. My parents aren't. But see, God still brought us together. And see, when you grow up, I grew up in a drug home. I grew up in a home where there wasn't God. I didn't come to church faithfully until I was 10. I didn't come to church faithfully until I was 10. Who's 10 in here? 10. I was your age when God started letting me come to church. It took me 3 years to get saved. Under the gospel, 3 years of preaching, I got saved finally. It hit me. But see, God help me. How do I say it? When I got saved, I was called to preach shortly after, and I was a fanatic then too. Yep. I was dogmatic about the Lord. I was on fire, Caleb. I was stirred up about God. That's right. I was going to take on the world by myself in the Bible. I knew His Bible. I knew how to preach then. I knew what was right. I knew all the choir songs. I knew all the hymns by heart. I knew verses of scripture. I had them memorized. Hey, I preached on a bus route. I did all that then too, okay? But see, I felt like Peter when he looked at the Lord and said, I'll never be offended. I'll never turn my back on you. Though the whole world does, I'll be there with you. And he said, Simon, Simon, the devil desires to take you so he can sift you as wheat. I pray for you that your faith go out. When you've been converted, encourage the brethren. God let me go through everything I went through. God let me do it. God let me grow up in the house I grew up in. God let me grow up in that the shenanigans. God allowed me to get out of the church. God allowed me to choose. I had the free will to choose to make those decisions. But then one day He hit me with the scripture and He brought me back in. I'm the exception. That's not the rule. That's the exception. But He allowed me to be sifted. He allowed me to be shook up a little bit so that I can encourage the brethren. And you know what? You don't have to be sifted.
That's right.
You don't have to be shook up.
That's right.
John, the disciple, was at the cross with Jesus. Peter wasn't. Peter denied Him 3 times. John was there encouraging him on. Mary. You can be John.
Amen.
You don't have to be Peter.
That's right.
You can be John.
Amen.
You can be. Every single one of them. And see, it started my heart up. I preached on the bus this morning. Y'all forgive me. I'm sorry. I'll preach y'all in a second. I'm not doing it. God wants to use each and every one of you. But you have to let Him use you. You have to get yourself out of the way so God can use you. Hey, you can resist the devil all day, but if you're not submitted, you won't flee. Resist the devil and he'll flee, right? That's all I ever say. You got to submit yourself. It's more than just believing in God, too. It's more than the devils believe and they tremble. You have to know who you have believed in and be persuaded. Guys, I love you. And I don't want you to ever go through any of the junk I went through that I put on myself. But some of y'all are going to have to because you're hard-headed. You're stubborn.
Amen. That's right, brother. Amen.
Amen. Grow in grace and in the knowledge of Jesus. You need to just get along with the Lord. Get some scripture. Fall in love with Jesus.
Amen.
Got a phone call last week before last. I don't know, it's just an honor. When I answered the phone, knew who it was. Had no idea what he wanted. But it was Brother Jason Garner. Brother Jason Garner is the youth pastor where our kids are going this weekend to the youth rally. And it's probably the biggest meeting they go to all year. And Brother Jason said, Brother Eddie, I just wanted to ask your permission to call one of your young men, one of your young teenage men, and ask them to come up and preach for us sitting in there. What a blessing. I ain't going to tell you which one it was, because I don't know if they called him yet or not, but hallelujah. 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 This boy right here literally grew up in our church. The first year of our school, he was in diapers. Well, he was supposed to be, but he ran around naked most of the time. That's a fact. I'd come out of my office and here come Eric down the hall. I'd say, oh, yeah, boy. I'd have to run him down and catch him. Bit every kid in the school. I don't mean nibbled, I mean bit. I'm talking about blood drawn. It was bad. It was bad. I thought they'd have to kill him before he got potty trained. But I'm telling you, the Lord raised him up. I sure am thankful and blessed. Still have him here today. I want him to give kids some advice. Amen. Is this okay with y'all? They're worth it, I think. I could preach to them an hour and a half, but let them hear from their peers a little bit tonight.
Take your time.
Know what to say. A lot of people like to focus on the ones that get out. I'm thankful for the ones, that were before me that didn't. Brother Bobby, Brother Mitch, Brother Jeff, Brother Todd. I looked up to a lot of role models throughout my life, and I'm about to be that. So, my daughters are looking up to y'all.
Amen. Come on, brother.
Something to me, I was always raised in church. I was here every time the door was open, but I wasn't always in church. I was here, I'd get up and sing and, worship the Lord, and I'd go back in my seat, and me and Dylan would just snicker back and forth, like nothing even happened. It wasn't real in here yet. And it wasn't really till I started working that I realized, because I was homeschooled, and, I can relate really to the youngs, because I was homeschooled, I was sheltered.
Yeah.
Sure, I was out and I played sports and everything, but once I really hit the world, I realized the big difference of what it is out there compared to what it is in here. And it doesn't really hit you till that big transition. And there's not words that can put in your head that what it's going to toll on your heart and on your spirit. And then you get asked, well, what are you doing this weekend? What you got planned for Saturday? Oh, we have this team thing at church.
Yeah.
You're 20. Why are you going to a team thing at church? Just come over and, we're just going to grill out and, we'll drink a little and just talk and have a good time watching sports. And they don't warn you of that temptation because, again, it wasn't in here. I was saved. Sure, I got saved at 8 years old. I can tell you all about that. But it wasn't, the desire to live right was not in there. And it's not until you have to make that decision of, I don't want to be the Mitch, I don't want to be the Todd, I don't want to be the Levi, I want to be like Christ. In Psalms, David is praying a prayer, I think it's 56. He's praying a prayer to not be like Saul. Because Saul sinned against the Lord and David sinned against the Lord. Saul didn't repent. And so the Lord gave him an evil spirit. David repented so that he wouldn't be like Saul and turned away. I'm asking, I can't relate to a teenage girl. I've never been one. Amen. I can relate to y'all, and I know how stupid y'all are. Yeah. And y'all will let one of your buddies get in one of your ears. Yeah. And you'll still come to church, but most of the stupid stuff y'all do is here. Yeah. I know, I was that one. I couldn't get away from my parents, so they heard everything I did. Yeah. I know how y'all are. I know how y'all think. I know. I can see. I can tell you. I talked with some of y'all in New Manor about some things that y'all were going to start doing and some directions y'all were going to start going in the wrong way. And then some of y'all that were in my room did. I can tell y'all where y'all are going to go because I was there. Yeah. I know the desire that you have in your heart right now, and if it's not on the Lord, it's going to end up bad. Yeah. Amen. Plain and simple. You will be blown away at how much just the smallest thing as a Christian can really hinder your spirit. Yeah. I haven't really done drugs. I haven't drank. I haven't smoked. But there's some things that are in me and in here that I can never get out. Right. It's just there. I pray about it, and it still hinders me today. But I can tell y'all, and y'all can listen to me or not. I mean, y'all just gonna look at me like, oh, well, he's just a cramp. He's a party pooper. That's all he is. No, I love you guys. I really do. I wish that I had guys my age looking down at me when I was your age saying, hey, you shouldn't do this. But I didn't have that. There was a big gap of teenage guys in our church. When the transition from Brother Jesse to my dad, that transition, we had no older guys, none. We had Latours, we had Becky, we had my sister, Tamara. We had a lot of older teenage girls, 18 to 20. We had no guys, none. I'm looking at y'all now, and if I tell you something, I'm going to tell you. Y'all know me. I'm going to tell you. Amen. I'm a Parker. Y'all know my dad. Yeah. And it's not to try and hinder you or do anything negative towards you. It's literally saying, hey, I did this. Yeah. Hey, it's going to hurt and it's going to stay with you. Yeah. There's wounds that heal and then there's wounds that scar. That's right. And you will always be left with scars. I love you guys. And I love you girls because I'm having a daughter and she's going to be looking up to y'all. And the Bible talks about being a virtuous woman. I can't relate to that. I don't know what that means. I'm not a woman. But in saying that, I hope that y'all will live right so that she has somebody to look up to. I hope this youth group is still here and y'all are the ones in this spot looking at my daughter, telling her, hey, you need to watch out here. Hey, you need to watch out there. Hey, I've been there, I did that. Or I hope you
can say, I didn't do that.
Right.
And this is where I am now. I can tell you about other people who did it, but hey, this is where I'm at.
Amen.
And I'm perfect. If I have no memories, I still wake up, I feel my mom's car, I wake up still to this day from the feeling of being in the air. Just wake up from it. You know, I didn't do drugs, but that's just, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Right.
But I was headed to Bible college. Well, I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing, I'm telling you.
Amen.
That transition from where I was going to Bible college, it wasn't right. And that's why I believe I wrecked my car. But I still have nightmares to this day. That was 6 years ago.
Amen.
Still have nightmares. I love you guys, and I don't want y'all to have to go through a learning experience.
Amen.
The guy that taught me at work says there's two ways to learn. There's your mistakes and there's others.
Yep.
If you ain't gonna learn from others, you're gonna have to learn from your own.
You're right. Amen.
And unfortunately, there's gonna be some suffering behind that because you reap what you sow.
That's good.
I love you guys.
Hallelujah. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Amen.
Brother Jeff Mays was in our very first graduating class of our Christian school. As a matter of fact, he was our first graduating class in our Christian school. He had to wait a year for his senior trip so he'd have somebody to go with him. 2 years for Brother Jeff, that's right. And love Brother Jeff Mays and what God's done in his life. And you know, I don't think the Lord's through. I remember when my little boy was little. Now, they all seem like they're the same age now, but they're older than Levi. They thought Mitch Noble and Jeff Mays were it. I remember Levi every morning does my hair look like Mitch's. I don't think he worries about that too much today. Every day it made me mad. I thought, no, I don't want you to look like Mitch. He's going to be bald very soon, maybe. He took my hair and look like Mitch's. I'll tell you a story. Maybe I should. Maybe give an ammunition. Yeah, y'all sit down. We were at New Manor one year, where y'all are headed, and we were staying in a hotel that was that was owned by trying to think of the right word to say, people that ain't from here, somewhere in the Middle East. Some of them even had little dots and circles on their head. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I'm not being mean. I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. And the maid, she had her little cleaning card. You know, she'd go in to clean her room and she'd leave her card outside. Well, the boys, when I say boys, I mean Jeff and Mitch. Nobody else, Jeff and Mitch. And Kenny. Yes. They would go hide the poor woman's card. And then my phone would ring, and I would get chewed out in some Middle Eastern language. You have to fix this. You have to make them stop it. You know. And I'm going, okay. I'm standing in my window watching them the whole time. And anyway, this went on all day long till church time that night. And but there was never a dull moment. No matter where we went, whether it was to youth rally in California or to youth rally in Hammond, Indiana, we were coming out of a Burger King, I believe it was. We were at the First Baptist Church in Hammond, Indiana. Dr. Jack Hiles was still alive and was the pastor. There was probably 3,000, at least 3,000 young people there, at least. That's probably saying it lightly. But we're coming out of this Burger King on late. It's late at night. Me and Jeff and Mitch and Ashley, all of us. And here's this well-dressed man about to walk into Burger King. Well, Mitch grabs him and starts dancing with him. You remember that? I mean, twirls him around on the sidewalk. Well, the next morning we get to church. Dr. Bob Hooker, one of the assistant pastors, came to the pulpit and said, some idiot tried to dance with me at Burger King. Hey, just because you're saved don't mean you can't have fun. Brother Jeff, give them some advice.
I'm not going to tell them the way that really happened. Guys, if I give you just put it simple, just, I guess, what you need to do is be real.
Yeah.
Be real. You know, when Samuel was sent to find a replacement for Saul and God wanted a new king, everybody thought it was going to be Eliab when they went to the house of Jesse. So much they didn't even call David in. But God refused them. God said that, you know, we look on the outward, but God looks on the heart.
Amen.
You know, good, real character is who you are when nobody's watching. What you do when no one knows. It's real character. You need to get real character. You know, I looked it up one time. There's 168 hours in a week. You come to church 3 times a week. It's about 6 hours being safe, maybe a little more, but that is preaching. But that's 6 hours of 168 hours you give to God. If that's all the God you get, that's about 3% of your life.
Amen.
You give to God. That's not much. You got to have a relationship with God outside this house. You got to have one yourself. Be real. I'm going to read a little bit about Ephesians 6. I'm not going to preach, but it's something we usually teach the kids, little kids. But man, this part right here, the whole armor of God, it applies to us all. I don't know why we only apply it to little children like a little fairy tale. Man, this is what you need to live by. Starting in verse 10, it says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil." Let me tell you, the devil's attacking. I don't believe me, come to my job every now and then. See what I do with it.
You're right, Brother.
The devil, he's trying to get rid of conviction, and he's trying to get rid of consequences. I'm telling you, you kids, they're trying to make it to where there's no repercussions for what you do. But there is, I'm telling you. You've got to put on the whole armor of God, because the devil is going to try to destroy you.
Yes, he will. Amen.
Whole armor of God. It starts with, he says, having your loins girded about with truth. You got to know this book. You got to know the Bible. You got to know what you believe. We all know it because where they preach it. But do you know why you believe it?
Amen.
Are you ready yourself? Do you know where the verses are? You got to know this book. Where's your loins? Not only that, but breastplate of righteousness. You got to protect your heart with righteousness.
Amen, brother. Come on. That's good. Amen.
You kids, if God's going to get you out, the devil's going to get you out as a teenager. He's going to get your heart. You got to protect that thing. You got to be righteous.
Amen.
You got to live right. You got to do right.
That's good.
Not just in here, not just run around, and that's just great. I'm not trying to knock it.
Sure.
But when nobody's looking, you've got to be righteous.
Amen.
Be righteousness. Feet shod with the preparation of the gospel. Once you know that gospel, you know this book, you got to get out there and tell people. You know, some of y'all, some of the people you see every day, we're never going to see.
You're right.
People you go to school with, you're the only God they're going to see. You got to get that gospel out. Take that gospel. We think. Shield of faith. The devil's going to try to get you, make you doubt your salvation. He's going to attack your faith. You got to shield yourself.
Amen.
Have faith in God. I'm telling you, when you stick out there and you do things for God, He's going to build that faith. He's going to show you that He's real. And He's going to increase that faith. You got to guard yourself with your faith. The helmet of salvation. He's going to mess with your mind, make you doubt your salvation. All right. It's sad, man. He's going to make you feel like you're not saved. Just know that book. If you ask Him to be saved, you're saved. God get you out of it. They're messing with you so much about your faith. You're going to mess up. We're all going to mess up. And the devil's going to make you feel like just because you messed up, you're not saved. Don't let him get your mind. Protect your mind and your salvation.
Good advice.
And the sword of the Spirit. Well, that sword is two-edged. It's for attack and defense.
That's right.
You got to know the Spirit of God. You got to know the Spirit of God. You got to get comfortable with the Spirit of God. Not just for attack, but defense. Be real, guys. You know, you young kids, you boys, I know y'all come play basketball. And that's good. I'm not knocking it. But how many times you been up here to pray?
How about that? Amen. Well, listen now.
How many times you been up here to go somewhere? Are you waiting on your parents to make you do it?
Amen.
Are you waiting on the pastor? Man, you got great leaders here. But they're not going to be here forever. Are you expecting them to be your spiritual life?
Right.
When are you going to be real?
Amen.
When are you going to get real?
That's good.
Be real, guys.
That's good. That's good.
Be real.
Boy, amen.
Man, that's good advice. I remember when these boys were playing basketball for our school, they'd go run every day before practice. As soon as school was out, they'd change out and they'd go run. I remember standing in this parking lot watching them go across the railroad tracks. And they'd run. I'll tell you how far they'd run. To the first house. Then they'd run to the second house. They'd run in uniform and knock on every door around this neighborhood before ball practice started. I bet these people in this neighborhood hated them boys, but they were consistent. They were consistent. Amen. They have their own spiritual walk. Amen. Brother Brian, you want to say something real quick? I couldn't understand your sign language a minute ago.
Yeah, I might start crying, but all y'all know me. And let's go in here and say, I want to tell this to the church, and I want to speak to y'all for a second too. But y'all don't know what y'all have in this church right here. There's some men and women, and young men and women of God in this church for God to show up every single Sunday and move in this church. I met Stacy. Please don't hold that against me, but we are good friends. But I started hunting with him last year in Kentucky, and he kept saying, "You got to come to church. You got to come on Sunday night. You got to hear this youth party." I said, "Sunday night, man, that's a thing of the past." But I finally came. I promised him I would come, and I want to tell you, young people, not what you can be, what you are, what you are right now. I'm 51 years old. And y'all speak to me. I can't wait to get here on Sunday night. Y'all see me standing up right here. It ain't because I'm short and I can't see you. It's because I can't stand sitting here. God uses you, young man right there in the tan with the brown tie. You sit up here and testify and you cry. And it just makes me weep and how God's using you. And the one next to him, I don't know y'all's name, but you get up here and sing to the Lord, and I sit there and I watch y'all. And the way you carry yourself, and the way that you act here, and the way that you get down and pray for your friends, I wished I had that when I was growing up. Because maybe I wouldn't have went off the way I did. Some of y'all sing. When I first started, there were songs that I've never heard before, and I would go to YouTube and I hear them and I listen to them all week. Still today, Sarah, I'm going to call you out because I know your name. That's my child. I asked you if you was going to sing today, and you said no. But you sing that song right there. It's one of my favorites. And when I hear it on YouTube, all I can hear is you singing it. I said that girl ain't got a camera. But what y'all are doing now to somebody like me, you may be doing it to somebody else, but if nobody else, y'all are doing it for me. I can't wait to get here. And I thank God for Stacy for bugging me to come here. I can't wait to get here. And I tell everybody, if you're going to come to Happy Valley, come Sunday night and hear this youth party. And I brought friends here. But I just want to encourage you, you are reaching people. You are reaching me. And I'm 51 years old. So don't think that y'all got to look up to us or whatever. I'm looking up to y'all. So I just want to
Did y'all catch that? It ain't what you're going to do Sunday, it's what you're doing now. It's being a blessing. If Brother Todd will come, I'm going to let him finish this out. And I'll tell you how we're going to end this service. I want to have our young people come and get in this altar. And I want our adults to gather around them and pray. I remember my mother praying. It always sticks in my mind. She'd pray for a hedge of protection. Lord, put a hedge around it. We need to pray a hedge around these kids tonight. The devil keep us stinking the hands off of them. I've just had a burden all week. Oh, I appreciate these testimonies and this advice. Don't take it lightly, kid. Don't take it lightly. I'm not Brother Jesse. I didn't have this. The Lord's been good to you. Brother Todd, you got something? Turn this down just a little bit, brother.
Hey, y'all think about when God is a teenager, but he used to be. I remember when he was. Amen. Old South Coast. Amen.
All right, I'm going to read you this. Romans chapter 6, verse 12 and 13 says, "Let not sin therefore reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it to the lust thereof. Neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourselves unto God as those that are alive from the dead, and your members as instruments of righteousness unto God." Let me sum up what everybody is saying tonight, kids.
Yes.
All right? The Bible says that you guys are like a piano, except you get to choose who plays you. All right? Like a piano, except for you get to choose who plays you. You can choose somebody to play you for God, or that piano can be played for the devil also. People can sing sloth out of it, and craziness, and cursing, and all kinds of craziness out of it. Or they can sing for God using a piano. You are the same thing, except for you get to choose. And we just want you to be every time Christians. We want you to choose Jesus every time, just like you sing. Every time. Not just sometimes. Not just on Sunday nights when you're singing in the choir. I'm going to wear a tie because Brother Eddie tells me to wear a tie on Sunday nights. But we want you to choose to be a Christian every time, in every situation. Now, you guys have heard from me and Brother Jeff and Sister Candace, and my wife Ashley's here, and Brother Mitch. When I first came to church, I was 18 years old. I was a senior in high school. Our youth choir was this big, or maybe even a little bit bigger. I don't know. But it was comparable. And that's who's left. The 5 of us.
Come on, brother.
That's it. So y'all can look around and pick whichever 5 you think might still be here 20 years from now. But we've had people overdose on drugs that used to be in our youth choir. We've had people in and out of jail that used to be in our youth choir. People that just hooked on drugs and don't have their kids anymore because of the life that they choose over Jesus Christ. And we want you to be able to choose Jesus Christ every time. I see kids every day when I get to work. I work at night and I get to work around 10 o'clock. And the first thing I got to do is check email to make sure my commander hasn't given me some new orders. All right? And every time I check my email, I see pictures of kids your ages that have run away from home. They've chosen something other than Jesus. They've chosen to run away to whatever it is, drugs, or girls running away to boys, or boys running away to girls, or whatnot. Whatever it is, when you make that choice, you're not choosing Jesus.
That's right.
You're choosing something else. And there's kids in here that snuck out. Some of you have been caught. Some of you haven't been caught. You might still be sneaking out. That's not how Christians should act. There's some of these teenagers, moms and dads, that have possessed drugs. Some of them have used drugs. And I'm not saying this because I'm working the percentages out. I'm saying it because some of you have told me. And some of them have told me. We want you to choose Jesus over drugs. And young man can't be older than 20. If you was here a couple of years ago, you'd have seen him here every Sunday morning, coming to church. A teenager at our church is in jail right now that's going to serve time. And has a kid that he's not going to be able to see because of drugs.
That's right.
When you get it in you, you start yielding yourself to those things, those outside influences, instead of yielding yourself to Christ. And you'll yield yourself to those things, and it pulls you away, and pulls you away, pulls you away. It changes the way your mind works. You'll get to a place where you don't want to choose Christ anymore. You don't want to choose your parents anymore. You don't want to choose the right things anymore because your mind is messed up and you can't even make that choice anymore. It's making it for you because you've yielded yourself to what the devil wants you to do. We want you to choose Jesus. We want you to choose Jesus. Not just sometimes. Not just once in a while. But every time. Every time.
You've heard some of the best advice tonight you will ever hear. You're a piano. And you get to choose who plays it. That's pretty powerful stuff, okay? And now then you'll say, get your fingers off of me.
Amen.
I'm an instrument, but I'm God's instrument. Levi, I was listening to an old preacher, you probably won't even know the name. His name was Vance Haddon. He's been dead quite a few years. I was listening to him last night, and he said one time in England, they had Beethoven's piano on display. And this young lady came by and she sat down and she started playing rock and roll music on it. She finally got through and she stepped aside. One of the most famous concert pianos in the world, he said his name, but I couldn't understand it. He sat down at the piano and he began to weep. And the curator of the museum said, we were all waiting. Aren't you going to play Beethoven's piano? He said, sir, I'm not worthy to touch the keys. Shows you the difference the two thought about it, didn't it? Boy, we ought to think a lot about God's piano. He allowed to put their hands on the keys. Thank you, Brother Todd. That was. You want to sing one more? Yes, sir, Brother Jesse. You made it. That's it. Hey, listen, what we're going to do after they sing, I don't want the kids just to come down. I want parents and grandparents to come forward and be motion to yours. And if there's some here tonight whose parents and grandparents are here, like Brother Mark, I want some of you that don't have a kid here. You get around that preacher boy. Why don't you go ahead, Brother Ron?
Can I say this, Brother Ed?
Yes, sir.
In Exodus chapter 20, the first commandment of the promise, it's chapter verse 5. It says, honor thy father and thy mother, that your days may be long. Yeah, like these kids, honor their mother and father. Amen. And that the days might be long upon the land that they give them. And then in 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10, it says, he that will love life and desire good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil, and his lips that they speak no guile. And that means not to tell dirty jokes, and stuff like that. If you love life and won't have good days, refrain your tongue, hold your tongue. Amen. You see what I'm saying? There's more that's good on the tongue just about anything. Amen. So to speak. It's different places. Talking about the tongue. Hold your tongue back. Yeah. If somebody says something smart to you, don't say nothing smart back. That's right. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 1, it says, a soft answer turns away wrath, and read this word to start. That means if you buy an anger with anger, it will come back to you. That's right. God holds his tongue to people. Amen. So you'll be tested. Because when the devil come before God, and the sons of God come before him, the devil also said, where have you been, Satan? He said, I've been going to and fro upon the earth. God, devouring who he might. Tells that also in chapter 5 of 1 Peter. But he said, have you tried my servant Job? But he puts his hedge around us. And I pray for you have a hedge around us. Amen. The devil can't touch you. Amen. No matter what kind of deal. Refrain your tongue from evil and speak no guile. Your days will be a lot better. Well, I found that out in my marriage. Yeah. But the wife say something too, then I answer with a come back to that. Everybody like that, I believe. I'm just human. According, I know I'm not according to man's standard, but Jesus called us children. In John chapter 21, he said, children, have you any bread? He's talking to Peter. That's right. A tough man. Peter was a tough man. He was a sailor. You know about sailors, they run back about anyway. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. Praise the Lord. Honor your father and your mother. Amen. Hold your tongue back. Amen. You don't tell dirty jokes. You don't even have to listen to them. That's right. Amen. But y'all pray for me. I love this church. Amen. We love you, brother. I love Brother Eddie because he preaches the truth. And he's an honest man. He don't put himself above everybody else. Amen. He's tempted just like we are. David was too. David was a man after God's own heart. I didn't know to talk this much. But David was a man after God's own heart. After God died, he was tempted. If he could be tempted, so can we. That's right. I'm thankful for David. Amen. He's preaching all the King James Version of the Bible. Amen. Good point, brother. Amen. I love this church. Amen. I'm grateful. Amen. Love you. Sing it out.
Faithful, but he has. I've not always been
ahead, but He has. Oh, and I can't conquer death, but He has. When I'm tempted to sin, and I fail to test again, He has. Yes, He has. Oh, when He that part about passing the test? Yeah, he passed. Yeah, okay, you son? Okay, that's my favorite part, baby. All right, here's what I want to do. I want you parents, come on. If you've got a kid or a grandkid in this youth choir, I want you to come in motion to them. Call them down to you. Is there anybody in youth choir that don't have a parent or a grandparent here? Anybody? You don't have a parent or a grandparent? Yes, yeah, that's right. Amen. Come motion to them. Get them to you. Let's gather around them. Truth be known, this is not done enough. Probably not even done enough in our homes. Lord, we pray over our children. Pray for their safety and for their protection. Amen. I want to take this serious. Got a burden for our kids. No big rush. If you need to pile up in some of these pews, do that. Just make it work. Just make it. I promise you, Lord, let me. I'm going to build us a bigger church one of these days where I have room to do this stuff. Amen. God.
Amen.
Caroline's coming this way. Keep coming around, baby. Keep coming. Keep coming, Caroline. All the way over to the end, baby. Your brothers and mama right over there. Hallelujah. Listen now, like I said, maybe you don't have a child or a grandchild down here, but these are your kids. These are our church kids. I want us to gather around them now. Hey, if you can't find room down here, let's get down where we are. Hey, every one of us knows there's some teenagers that went wrong. Went wrong. Well, what if we had started this way back then?
Yes.
Started praying over it like this on a regular basis. Let's just take our time and I pray over them. Amen. every time, but I think at least once a month we'll pray for our kids like that. Pile them up in this altar, lay over them, pray for them. You know, Brother Jeff and Mitch, Brother Todd, and Candace, and Bibba, and Ashley, we could sit around, we could make a list tonight. It wouldn't take long. I made one in my head a while ago, at least a legal page long. Some of those teenagers they were talking about. And I wonder if someday when we stand before God, if we're not going to have some fault in that, as parents and leaders, what if God isn't going to say, you ought to pray for them? You ought to pray hard for them. Yeah, they made a decision. They went the wrong direction, but you wasn't praying for them like you should. Brother Brian was right. We've got something special here in our church, in our young people. It's not like that anywhere you go. It's like that very few places you go. We owe it to them. We owe it to them to surround them, bombard them. Amen. Brother Mays preached a message one time. Somebody touched heaven for me. Somebody touched heaven for me. Amen. Thank you, church. I know it's a little bit different tonight. Man, I'm studying what God put on my heart. I was going to preach to them tonight. I told Brother Jesse this morning, I was going to preach to kids tonight, and I was going to kind of fill their lives a little bit. I really was. And I don't think it could have done no better. Could have been done no better than what it was tonight, brothers. Thank you, men, ladies, for the advice to these kids. I know it's from their heart. I appreciate it. Let's stand on our feet tonight. Brother John, can you pray while you're holding that beautiful baby? I thought you could. You're dismissed, brother. Amen.